resort to ethnic, religious, and be shouting, oh, Peter campaign on religion, oh, Peter campaign on... But they are the ones doing it. I've never in any way told anybody in any church, in any gathering, vote for me based on this. I've said it, do not vote for Peter to be based.
I actually want you to take your pretty time to check the video of President Peter Obi of Lebo Patti. I know why I want you to watch this short clip of video of Peter Obi, the interview he had today with the TV stations. The point is making about some of the churches and some pastors and preachers. He did not force anyone to campaign for him or vote for him. Bible says that you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. I want you to see every reason as a reasonable Nigeria why you need to vote for Peter Obi and the reason why you need to understand the truth. Share this video. Now.
Because of his partner is from the southeast. People voted for me on the issue of somebody being young and moody. It's laughable. It's actually, we should actually stop people from being old and contest. If I have my way, if we can retire our bishops at 70, retire our professors at 70, Supreme Court at 70, it's time we put age for this our politics so that people can also retire. Because there's a reason why we say at 70, 75, people should go and rest. So let us, is these people that are saying it that are bringing confusion? Age of 40 is age where people are becoming or became president in America, the world's biggest economy, 25 trillion. And you're just 400 billion. And you're talking about age. That is the right age, the right background, the right education.
So we've been talking about the presidential election. But your party, despite the criticism that you had no structure, you had no representation in the National Assembly, ended up getting into the National Assembly. 6 seats in the Senate, 34 in the House of Representatives. I would like you to comment on that. And then second, this issue of INEC not allowing you access to inspect election materials. Now, Yusuf Tanko, the spokesperson, chief spokesperson of your party, has now served notice that INEC was duly served a CTC copy of the court order on March 3. INEC was reminded on March 6, and that the only option now available to the Labour Party is to picket to INEC offices nationwide in a peaceful protest, he says. But has it also occurred to the party to seek the option of going back to court to make it clear to court that INEC is guilty of contempt, is contemptuous of the court order, or the only measure you want to adopt is that of the peaceful street protest to INEC officers? Those two issues.
Thank you, Dr. Patti. We will apply both. Because you have a situation where you cannot even imagine. You know, INEC is an institution backed by law. The court have given an order, a ruling. They are not obeying it. Where do we start to build a nation? The most important ingredients of what makes a nation is the rule of law. And I said it when I was campaigning, that we must govern by rule of law. Women, the biggest contributor to the Western economy today, in terms of GDP, in terms of their growth, is intangible assets called rule of law. The reason why people want to live in America, in Britain, in anything, it's not because things that happen here don't happen, but because if it happens, you can seek redress in court and it will be obeyed. It's because if you call police, it will nothing else. Nothing else. I have somebody who told me an interesting story. He said he had a wife in Nigeria, and he would shout at his wife, do whatever he liked, and then suddenly something happened and he went to the UK and he shouted and the wife called police, and police came and he was still shouting in front of police, and the police told him that he shouldn't come near one mile radius of his house because of the way he's behaving.
You didn't remind them that he paid down as a Nigerian.
He told me, said, all he wants is to go back to Nigeria with his wife. Why? It's law and order. And that's what we are lacking here. Ruben, we must live in a society that is organized. Today, with the way Nigeria is, considering how bad things are economically, what the world expected of us in 2023, there was so much expectation, is to have free, fair, and credible election where the new government will come to start. When you talk about people say low-hanging fruit. The number one low-hanging fruit here is to start governing by rule of law. If you start it, you start changing this country. And that I'm committed to. And I'm urging INEC to please help the country. The image of the country today has certain importance in Committee of Nations is being put into question by all this rascality.
National Assembly elections. And how do you intend to leverage on
for
that?
Me, I thank God that we're able to get the number of seats we received. I hosted the candidates after they received their certificate and urge them to know that we are committed to a new Nigeria. And we must do things differently. We must support what is right. We must go there to work hard and everything. And I'm sure they will. We also said we have a retreat after this. Ruben, the things we need to do going forward for Labour Party, for them, we need to build a democratic institute that will be able to teach people what their job is all about and what they're expected to do. It is not just you've won the election. It is now time for you to be part of the confusion that exists, make it transactional. We now want to leverage and talk. We're talking with different organizations, different countries that can help us to build a proper democratic institution that will teach our people, including me, what governance is all about.
All right, great point. Now, I just want to ask, following that you received or you hosted the 40 Labour candidates who emerged winners for the National Assembly elections, so people have asked the question, or some of your critics have asked, not the same process as with the presidential election, because you're saying that what you're going to court for is to challenge the process by which the president-elect was declared winner. So is it the same? Why have you accepted the results of the National Assembly elections in favor of the Labour Party candidates and not accept the same process, as it were, that also had the president-elect emerge as winner? And the second part of the question as well is that there are also questions around your support of gubernatorial candidates. So a case in point is in Enugu, where you have Chijioke Ejoga and Frank Wike Jr. of ABGA Party. There seems to be some, lack of agreement in your party as to who to support in that state. I'd just like you to clarify that today.
Okay, very, very good question. Let me tell you in Enugu, let me start with the issue of Enugu. The issue of Enugu is because Aisha Yusuf tweeted in support of Frank Wike. Let me clarify to you now. The obedient movement are not necessarily Labour members. You have to know that. There's so many people in the obedient movement who are going to do with Labour Party.
That's true. Okay.
There's so many groups within that. There's so many people. Someone like Aisha Yusuf is not a member of Labour Party. And it says so. And however, we even have what we call the big tent, which is where everybody is gathered. I have people who are supporting me today as a presidential candidate who are going to do with Labour Party. People like Patti, Pita side, for example. And I have many people of that. They believe that I can do this job, and I'm sure there's so many of them in their eyes who are not members of Labour Party, but they believe in what I'm doing. So they have right to also choose who they want to support. Based on what I said, it's a choice. But as a Labour Party, which I'm a member, and again the party is far more prim than any individual. I'm just a member of Labour Party. Labour Party have chosen through this process that is verifiable and straightforward. Chijioke Edonga is our candidate. And that I stand with, because I'm a member of Labour Party. The members of the obedient family have their own choices. I can't question them. So that's the difference. So let's just do. And then on the second question you asked about issue of whether National Assembly, they're not. Remember, INEC said House of Representative was going from the through to the server, as rep was going through, but it's only presidential. So, by that, they have defined a process. They have accepted a process. Well, in their law. In the other two, they follow that process. In this one, something happened. They gave an excuse. We shouldn't be there. Because they know what they're doing.
Okay. So let's come to Lagos. What's your support like for the Labour Party governorship candidates in Lagos? And also, there's been a dichotomy. In fact, at some point they were saying there was going to be a possibility of the PDP, Labour Party, and a couple of other parties doing a deal in Lagos, but that has not fallen through now. There's also the Jandor factor. Jandor has been saying he's fought